Yeah, that was a very frustrating game yesterday for the 49ers. Both defensive and offensively. Well, at least the first half offensively was very frustrating. The offense started picking it up, but the defense, man, it was total opposite than what we saw against the Chicago Bears. I mean, Aaron Rodgers just picked apart that defense, showing the 49ers why they should have drafted him. Ryan Grant had over 100 yards, was pretty much able to do anything. Greg Jennings picked apart Terrell Brown. And, every time the Niners would try to get close to Rodgers, he would just dump off the screen pass to Ryan Grant. And one of the things that's really been irritating me, especially the past couple games, is the Niners' inability to defend against a screen pass. Even against the Bears, Matt Forte had a couple screen passes that killed us, and it was the same thing with Ryan Grant and the Packers. It was very frustrating, and then the one thing that really got on my nerves was missed tackling, fucked up tackling. Like late in the fourth quarter, I think it was the Packers' last drive, where Ryan Grant ran in the middle, looked like he was stuffed up, bounced up, and then just rambled for 21 yards. And I mean, come on, if you're going to tackle someone, wrap them up, man. Quit doing that fucking shit, man. Learn how to fucking tackle. I mean, that's very irritating, man. If you're going to play defense, you got to make those tackles. And I mean, we couldn't stop nobody. The Packers, they had the ball 2/3 of the game. So it was no wonder why we lost. Even if we made a run at it at the end. I mean, if we was able to do have some better drives in the first half, maybe we could have came away with that. But hey, it is what it is. So all I can just do is just hope that, we just continue to get better. And we're heading in the right direction. We're getting there. I mean, we're going to get there hopefully sooner than later. But, it might take some time. How much time? I wish I knew, but, I'm not a rocket scientist. And, with that, I'll get into some of the comments, and I'll first start off with my boy in the Niner Empire. Shout out to JD in Sacktown. He writes, a young, inexperienced football team. We can't win close games. We just don't know how to yet. It's all a large, growing experience. And you're right, JD. Matter of fact, I touched on that a couple weeks ago before the Bears game, is that we're not a good team yet. I don't think we're heading in the right direction. But in order for a team to be good, they're going to have to take their lumps before they get. It's tough love. I mean, the Niners back when Montana came, he had to take some lumps. Steve Young had to take some lumps his first season starting in '91. Garcia had to take a few lumps before he had a good couple seasons with us. So it happens. I mean, you're not going to formulate a team that hasn't been cohesive for like a very long time and just automatically be successful. And so, yeah, you're right. It's a learning process, and, unfortunately we got to take our lumps. But hopefully, hopefully we can ride this ship sooner or later. Let's see, who else we got? Oh, yeah, shout out to my boy, Eminem Busted Booms. He writes, thank God Smith showed to us that the Houston game was not a fluke. That was only positive besides Crabtree's first TD. And P.S. also keep staying positive and stay faithful. Well, thanks for the shout out, EBB. And you know me, I always try to stay positive when it comes to the 49ers, even in the rough times. But I ain't going nowhere. I ride or die with the Niners. So shout out to you, Eminem Buster Booms. Let's see what else we got. 49ers football okay. I'm assuming that's Oklahoma. If I got it wrong, I'm sorry. He writes, this is the last time our season ends in December, quote unquote. Jed, as in Jed York, is absolutely right. It didn't end in December. It ended in November, jackass. Now, I understand, you were a little upset. I'm very upset about the way things is going. I thought we were being in a better position than we are right now. But me personally, I'm not giving up on, and I'm not saying that you're giving up on the season, but me, I'm not throwing in the title until we're mathematically eliminated. Now, I know we're 3 games out of it with 6 games left. Excuse me. And statistically, the odds do not look good for the San Francisco 49ers. So it's natural that some people might want to throw in the towel. But, hey, I will remind you of this. Last year, a lot of fans from the San Diego Chargers was throwing in the towels when there was 4 games left, and I believe they were 4-8. And the Broncos were in a much better position, and they were pretty much able to clinch it. They were about ready to clinch the division, and we all know how that ended. San Diego went to the playoffs, and the Broncos stayed home. So, who am I to say that will happen? But then again, who am I to say that's not going to happen? So, nobody knows what's going to happen. So, I said it once, I said it again. All I can do is just hope for the best. I am guys 927 writes, are you like in California? It's like so bright outside for 10:30. Now, I guess if you guys noticed my Crow video against the Packers, it was kind of bright in my background. Well, for the record, yes, I am in sunny California, but to be technical, I didn't shoot that video at 10:30 in the morning. I shot that actually around 1:30 in the afternoon, so just to be technical right here. And then I'll read 2 more comments, and then I'm going to end it on this because I actually think this is an interesting subject here. First, shout out to JW85. He writes, I don't really want to judge Alex Smith too hard until we give him an offensive scheme that is suited for his skill set. We can't play smash mouth football with second stringers on the O-line. And I agree with that. And then you got my boy from Reno, Chain Gang Soldier 1121. He writes, I don't care about Alex Smith leaving the comeback. It doesn't mean shit if we can't win. Alex Smith fucking sucks dick. I am boycotting Alex Smith like I always do. Put in Nate Davis. It's a good thing I never bought my Alex Smith jersey because he's a fucking bum. It doesn't matter if Dave Fox got injured. Our O-line sucks anyway. A pack of wolves couldn't block Alex Smith. He never runs anyway. He always holds on to the ball. He reminds me a lot of Jamarcus Russell. And those are my comments right there. And I want to talk a little bit about the Niner offensive line. Now, touching on Chain Gang Soldier, I can kind of understand that he's upset with the whole Alex Smith thing, and maybe rightfully so, because he was our number 1 pick, and he hasn't resulted in anything. So I can feel his pain on that. But touching on J-Dub 85, I agree with him that I believe that it all starts up front, and I don't care if you put Joe Montana, Steve Young, Jeff Garcia, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Dan Marino, John Elway, or whoever back there. If you put those quarterbacks behind that offensive line, that's what you're going to get. I mean, and that's just my feeling, and it really hurts that Joe Staley isn't there. Even when Joe Staley was there, we were still having problems on the offensive line, and it's just been one of the issues to why the Niners haven't really been able to protect the quarterback as good as we wanted to, or why we haven't been able to get our running game going as good as we like. But even if the Niners do fix that offensive line, say if we come up with the best offensive line, that doesn't necessarily mean that Alex Smith is going to start producing. I mean, he might. And if you put him behind a solid offensive line, he is going to do better. But the question is, how much better can he get, and would he be able to take the 49ers to the next level if he had a solid offensive line? So I want to know what you guys think, mainly the Niner Empire. Do you think Alex Smith would be much better off if he had a solid offensive line, or do you think it'll be just the same? And, I'll take it off there with that. Let me know what y'all think. I'm out. I'll get with y'all next time. Later.